Hello, grade 7. This is Mrs. Lopez, and today we have a very quick lesson on the volume of the prism. We are in the last lesson of our module 3 in the 7th grade, lesson 24. So, the volume of the prism is very easy to find if you know how to find areas. Um, the volume of the solid, so we learned about circumference or perimeter earlier. We learned about area, which is the inside of the two-dimensional shape. And now we are looking at the inside of the three-dimensional shape. Volume is um, something that fills the solid. It's like the air inside of it or whatever. Or if you put the water in a tank, so how much water it will take to fill in the tank. So that's something that fills the solid. And here we have the volume of a solid is quantity given by the number of unit cubes needed to fill the solid. Volume is measured in cubic units because now we are working with three-dimensional shape. The volume of a prism is the product of the area of the base and the height of the prism. The formula for the volume is this one. Volume equals the area of the base. It's not just the base. It's the area of the base. It's capital B and multiplied by the height of your prism. So area of the base, uh, and whatever the base is, it can be a triangle, it can be a rectangle, it can be a trapezoid. So we know how to find the area of the base based on our knowledge from the previous lessons. And then we just multiply it by the height of the solid. So if you look at the rectangular prism, and I told you in the last lesson that the base for the rectangular prism can be really any face. And I would say in this rectangular prism, the base is going to be the one that it's standing on. It's easier to figure that out. Um, so the area of the base, we find the area, the inside of that base, and multiply it by the height of the solid. If we look at the triangular prism, the bases are the two identical shapes that are in there, and those are the triangles. We will find the area of the base and then multiply it by the height of the solid that is right here. It's so if we look at it, if we put it on uh, the triangle that it's standing on, this will be the measure that makes it 3D. That's going to be the height of your solid right here. So we'll find the area of the base and multiply it by the height of the prism. Okay? Just a couple of quick examples before I set you off on your own. Example 1, find the volume of the rectangular prism. The base will be the one that it's standing on. So this right here, and volume is the area of the base times the height of the prism. And the area of the base is going to be 6 times 3. That's how I find the area of this side. And then the height of the prism is going to be the one that makes it 3D, that makes this rectangle 3D shape. So multiplied by 4. And I have 18 times 4, or 12 times 6, which is 60. Hold on. 18 times 4, just better do it this way, 72. 72. And now it's going to be in centimeters cubed. Cubic centimeters, we will say. Okay, and now we have another example, I believe. Yes. We have a triangular prism, and the bases of the triangular prism are the triangles. So we will find the area of the base, and the measure that makes it the prism, or that makes it 3D shape, is right here. We'll multiply that by the area of the prism, the area of the triangle. So the area, the volume is the area of the base times height. To find the area of the base, I will multiply 1/2 by 3 by 4, and I will multiply that by the height of the prism, that is 8 inches. So Let's just simplify 2 and 4. And so I will have 6 times 8, 48 inches to the third power. That is pretty much it. That's how we find formulas. I will leave it up to you to do the exercises. Well, maybe let's do this two more, and then you will do it on your own. This is a rectangular prism. The base, I will say, is the bottom part right here. I'll just shade it in for you. That's the one it's standing on. So we'll have volume equals area of the base times height. Area of the base is 25 times 20. And then the height is going to be 4 centimeters. Okay, so we'll have 25 times 20, which is 500. And then we would multiply that by 4. So I'll just write 500 times 4, and that is 2,000. And now we'll have centimeters to the third power. For the triangular prism, and I know it's a triangular prism because there are two triangles. Here we have our triangle, that is the base. And the height that will make it 3D will be this one, or this one, or this one. So volume equals area of the base times height. The base is 1/2 times 4. This is the base of the triangle. And the height of the triangle is 3 times 4 times 3. The height of the prism is going to be 7. 5 in this case we don't need. Okay, so we'll have 6 times 7, 42 cubic inches. All right. Okay, so now you have some triangular and rectangular prisms to do. And that's it, I think. Okay, here we have some more complicated ones. So let's do a couple. This one you can't see very well. I will just outline this for you. Very bad lighting here. So here we have a shape of a house. Looks like this. Okay. All right. So we have a shape of a house, and we need to find its volume. First, we need to see what shapes our house is made out of. We see a rectangular prism and triangular prism on top of it. So if we find the volumes of each of these, we will be able to find the volume of the whole thing. Okay, so we will have a volume is the area of the base times the height. So we'll find the volume of a rectangular prism first, and that is going to be area of the base, which is right here, which is 4 times 6 and 1/2, and then times the height of the prism itself, which is 6 and 1/2 as well. And for the area volume of the triangular prism, the base is 4 and the height is 1/2. So 4 times 1/2, and the height of the prism is right here, which is 6 and 1/2 meters. Okay, so let's do one at a time now. So we'll have 4 times, first you remember you need to make sure that you are working with improper fractions. 13 halves times 13 halves. This is a 4, we can get simplified that, and we'll have 169 cubic meters. For this one, we'll have 4 times 1/2 times 13 halves. I can simplify 4 and 2 2's, and I will get 13 meters to the third power. So now we just can combine the volumes of each of these, and we will have 169 plus 13 is going to be 182 meters to the third power. That is our answer for this problem. Trapezoidal prism. A trapezoidal prism is only different than that the bases are the trapezoids, not triangles and not rectangles. The trapezoidal prism is called trapezoidal prism because we have bases are trapezoids. And to find the volume of this, we're going to multiply the area of the base times the height. Area of the base, as I explained you earlier in the lessons, can be found by averaging base 1 and base 2 and multiplied by the height of that trapezoid, and then we will multiply it by the height of the prism, which is going to be this one right here. Or it can be this one, or it can be this one, or it can be this one. They are the same. Okay, so base 1 of the trapezoid is 5 1/4. And we would add base 2, which is this one, 6 1/2. We will divide that by 2. We would multiply it by the height of our trapezoid, which is right here, and that's a 4 centimeters. And then we will multiply that by the height of the prism, which is right here, 9 centimeters. Okay, so here we have 2/4, if you want to do that. So we'll have 11 3/4. 11 3/4 multiplied by 1/2 divided by 2 is the same as multiplied by 1/2, right? Well, let's do that. Divide by 2 times 1/2 both, 1/2 both to simplify the denominators. And so we will have 44 plus 3, 47 fourths times 1/2, which is 47 eighths. Okay, now we are multiplying it by 36 times 4 times 9. So that is 2. Okay, and then I will have 47 times 9, 423 halves. And then when I divide that by 2, I will get 211 and 1/2 centimeters to the third power. Okay. One more problem here that might look complicated, but I'm not going to explain it to you. I will just show you that this shape can be divided into 2 rectangular prisms. If you just put a side here, if you want, you will find their volumes and you will combine them to find the total volume. Okay. All right. Good luck to you, and I will see you in class.